I thought since it's my last day in New York City, I would celebrate by vlogging on my fire escape. Oh fuck, it's cold out here. Nope, nope, not gonna happen.
'Probably guessed it by this title, but I am moving out of my quaint 2-bedroom Midtown East apartment in New York City. Our lease ends on January 31st, so I'm moving out officially tomorrow. '20 has hit me in several ways, but I would say this is one of the hardest. If you didn't know, I currently live with my roommate and best friend from childhood. We moved into this apartment in December of 2019. It was like mid-December. I actually found this place on a Facebook group and we got it for super cheap, no fees, no brokerage fees, nothing. It was really the perfect place for us.
Public service announcement: command strips are completely useless if the little tab falls off.
Although we were super excited to move here, we did take our time moving in because we really wanted to get our stuff settled. We were going back and forth from the city and Long Island often and just bringing what we could each time. So it really didn't feel until maybe the end of January, beginning of February that we actually started living here. And of course, if you are a human living on this earth, you know that March is about the time that things started to shut down because of coronavirus. So we essentially had a month and a half of actual living in the city before coronavirus hit. You may say bad luck. I would say a lifetime of series of unfortunate events. Once the pandemic kind of, I guess, started in March, I really wasn't here at all for probably 4 months. So I moved in December, I moved out in March, and I literally did not come back here until maybe June or July. Like, I think I've spent a total of like 30% of 2020 in this physical apartment, which is really terrible to think about because of all the money I spent paying for this place. Don't you love the financial expense of living in New York City without actually physically living in New York City? It's fantastic. Just click the button, just click the... I literally was laughing to myself for like an hour. I'm like, you know what? If no one followed me on social media, that would be absolutely fine because I think I'm hilarious. Have we come to the conclusion that I should get rid of my ex-boyfriend's protein shake? Me eating this would symbolize the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't want to just say all bad things about it because I think that this was a really great opportunity to move out, to live here, and although I wasn't here for a long time, I really enjoyed the time that I did spend here. On a more positive note, I just want to talk about the few things that I really loved about living here for the time that I did. First, I really enjoyed having my own space, especially during pandemic times. Yes, I love spending time with my family, but sometimes spending a little too much time with my family is not good for my mental health. So it was really great that I had this place I can come to. It was my own. I had space by myself. I felt like I can just get away from things, rest and recharge however way that I wanted to. Kind of like a little retreat away from where I was currently living. The whole experience in general has made me a way more independent person. Independent in several ways, in terms of financially, especially me knowing how to pay for this long-term, you know, Wi-Fi, electric, being a real adult and actually figuring out how to pay your own bills and all that crap that is so terrible. I would say physically more independent. I spent a lot more time alone while I was here, and I think that's also an important lesson about COVID in general, is like being able to be independent and by yourself and like be cool with that. I would say independent in a mental term too, you know, not just relying on my parents and my like friends and family for everything, and you know, me being here kind of symbolizing that I am an adult and I'm independent and I'm my own person and I can handle myself. Well, actually I can't really handle myself that well, but you know what I mean. This was my space space. I could do whatever I wanted here. You know, here, no one can yell at me for forgetting to clean a pan on the sink, because actually what I was doing was waiting for the pan to cool off, because I was told that if I clean the pan while it's still hot and I put it in the white sink, that it's gonna burn the sink and it's gonna leave a mark. And if I did that, then I would really get in trouble. Cheers! Last roomy dinner.
Cheers. Wow. That's good.
Ooh, that's good. What was your favorite thing about living with me?
I really feel like you are a very positive, upbeat person. I appreciate you like always encouraging me and like, you know, just being like a nice breath of fresh air in the morning. I don't consider myself a difficult person to live with, but I just feel like, you know, some people are good friends, but they can't always live together. We never got in a fight, like we never really had that, you know, so it just was like a very positive experience all around. So cheers to you being you, boo.
All the time that I was spending with my family, I knew that I could just come back here and like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there. Me and Allie could just fucking chill. Had like good times, just like in the apartment, getting drunk and like partying and watching like movies together.
Say we were here for like 11 months, fucking looping it up, like settled in, killing it, going out, working out, whatever.
More money,
literally
and, like,
just
more
serving
fulfilled.
alerts.
If that happened, if we were more fulfilled and in better shape and looking better and like having all around better days.
We just gotta ride this wave.
I mean, people are saying this was a time for personal growth, so I mean,
I don't feel like I agree personally, but
of course, with all of that, there are numerous things that were a little stressful about living here. First of all, I am definitely not going to miss walking up 4 flights of stairs to my apartment. And also, it's not like normal stairs. It feels like more stairs per floor. Like, we don't have like 12-foot ceilings. Why do we have 12 feet of staircase? And moving in and out with those stairs and like a heavy television and bed, it's not fun, guys. It's not fun. I'm not going to miss the little Jerrys running around. If you don't know, Jerrys means mice. As cute as they are and as vegan as I am, I don't like them in my apartment. I'm not going to miss the radiator that keeps leaking and then creates a nice little flood all over my floor. Well, actually, what it does is it geysers up from the little opening where the steam comes out, and then it floods the floor. So, yeah, that wasn't fun. I'm not going to miss having a washing machine that sounds like it's gonna take flight every time you do a load. And it also doesn't even clean things. I don't think it dries it either. It actually doesn't do anything. It just kind of spins things around and makes a lot of noise. I'm not gonna miss waking up to the sound of angry commuters at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm also not going to miss falling asleep to the sound of angry crackheads on the street. Yeah, it's been fun. Why do I like living here? So why exactly am I moving? Well, for starters, it seems pretty obvious in the general sense that it doesn't really make a lot of sense to live here while the city is closed. I'm spending a shit ton of money on my rent. I'm spending about $1,600 a month just for rent, not including utilities and Wi-Fi. The fact that I don't need to go into the office at all and I'm working from home full time, there's no point in me spending that money. Oh, I didn't mention I'm moving home. It makes more sense financially to save the money that I would have been spending on rent, move in with my parents, and yeah, save it. The city is expensive in general, so if you're going to work from home and live home and, you know, be ordering lots of takeout like I do, all of that is significantly more expensive in the city than it is on Long Island. Like I also just mentioned, I don't need to be in the office. I'm currently working full time and no one really knows when offices are gonna open. I think New York as a state is doing okay in terms of pandemic reopening, but New York City in itself is kind of this weird epicenter. The city is essentially dead, and it's been dead for a long time. There's no indoor dining. It's January, so if you want to go out to eat, you're basically eating your pizza with like mitts on. I mean, outdoor heating systems just don't really do it for me. The things that I love doing and the things that make me love the city is going to museums and going to great restaurants, going to bars and clubs, and I can't really do any of that stuff right now, which is weird because almost all of that stuff is open on Long Island. Gyms, dining, bars. Actually, what is up with that? Another reason I'm moving home is because the pandemic has kind of made me realize that this is such an abnormal time where you get to spend so much time with your family and your close friends that I guess live in your area. And just thinking that me moving out on my own for good and my little brother recently graduating college and him moving out on his own soon, this is gonna be the last time that we are gonna have all this time together as a family. So just appreciating that and taking advantage of that, I think is gonna be really great to spend the next couple of months. Look at me getting all cute and sentimental. Regardless of my entire situation, I would have to say that I definitely achieved one of my dreams. I'm so proud of us because when we were little, all of us were like, we're all gonna one day go live in the city, all of us as girlfriends, kill it, we're gonna be living Sex in the City, aka Gossip Girl style, be fabulous, go clubbing, and basically just live with our best friends. And like,
yeah.
I feel like me and you
We fucking did it!
did that. Like, even if it wasn't ideal.
Your childhood dreams come true, people.
Like, I feel like I still like achieved a goal. And like,
Yes,
now I can,
100%.
now I'm less upset about like, okay, if I live alone or, you know, move back in with my parents, or if I like find another roommate like who I'm not like that close with or I'm not really friends with, I can still be like, you know what, I have that time to live with my best friend.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Wow, we pulled him out.
Now we caught rat. Oh my god.
Did you step on it? On the edge? No?
I can't. I was trying to stop. Stop moving! It's still, it didn't come off. Take your shoe off, take your shoe off. Just wanted to get that moment.
I love you!
Even though it wasn't exactly what we had in mind and not exactly what we imagined, we still did it. And I can still check that off my list saying, yeah, I got out there and I achieved a dream that I've had since I was little. And I did it with my best friend. And of course, it brought us closer together as friends. So what is next for me? Well, I'm moving back home for the time being to be with my family on Long Island. I'm excited to not be living out of a suitcase for the first time in one whole year. That's really gonna be great. Literally all of my stuff are in 3 different locations and it's stressing me the hell out. I think adjusting to life living with my parents is going to be a little bit difficult. Pan situation. But this is for sure not gonna be anything permanent. It's just gonna be temporary, you know, of course, depending on how COVID goes, when things start to reopen, and also when I'm gonna be expected to be back in my office. I will probably start looking again in the spring to move back to the city, but right now I'm just gonna take it day by day and see what happens. The one thing that's really stressful about this whole time in general is that it's hard to plan. You don't know what next month's gonna look like. You don't know what next week is gonna look like. Just hold on for this truck that's passing. And resume. So it's hard for me to say that, yeah, I'm only gonna be living here for 3 months and then I'm moving back out, or I'm gonna be living here for a year and it's still gonna be coronavirus. I might not even wanna stay in New York. I mean, if this is an opportunity that I can work from anywhere, what is stopping me from just going across the country and moving to a different state? Somewhere warmer, maybe. A part of me feels this guilt, guilty about regressing in my life, which is so horrible to think. I shouldn't think that because I haven't regressed in my life. It just feels like I started accomplishing all these things in 2019 and they all just kind of got snatched right from under my feet. So that is one of the things that is kind of, you know, getting me down a little bit. But again, I shouldn't really think of it that way. I should think of it as everyone is going through this. I could never have predicted anything like this. The decision that I made to move here and spend $1,600 on rent was knowing that I needed to go into the office every day, that I love living in the city. A part of me feels like I'm kicking myself for, you know, not waiting 2 or 3 months and saving. I don't even want to think about all the money I could have saved. I couldn't have predicted that. I couldn't have.
This situation is 1,000% like out of everybody's control. I mean, who knew that we would still be in this like global situation today? I don't think anybody could have predicted it. And also too, like, we're just at the unfortunate age. We had like 1 foot in the real world pool and the other foot still in the like, we were like on the precipice, and I feel like
Precipice?
are we right on the
Sounds like an
edge.
English word.
It is.
Sounds like I wrote an essay about that word. I just need to accept that this is what happened, this is what was going to happen, and there's no way that I could have changed that. And there's no way that I can get my money back. There's no way that I can get any of my time back. I'm fine. I'm fine. Everyone is having a terrible time.
Everyone's having an existential crisis.
If they seem like they're doing well, they're lying to you. Thank you to my family for helping me out with this like whole stressful experience and with moving and letting me move back in, of course. And to my little brother, get ready to be roommates again because we're gonna be best friends forever. This is the start of a new chapter and it's gonna be up to me to figure out what that next chapter looks like. Embroider that on the pillow.
Not getting phone calls from your mother 25 times a day.
Your
Jesus
mother!
Christ!
Your mother called me. She's worried sick about you.
Calling the police. Are you awake?
Are you awake? There's a wellness check. Tony, I need you to do a wellness check on my girl Allie.